All right, everybody, welcome to another training, and today we're going to dive right into follow-up. Now, as you can see on the screen, the fortune truly is in your follow-up. Now, there is a lot of people that don't buy or join on your first exposure, and that is how they roll, and think that is how most people roll these days. Okay, they need time to think about it. They need time to feel like they've come to terms with their buying decision, and this is the reason why you need to really follow up with your prospects. Okay. And when you do follow up the right way, you will not come off as a pushy car salesman and trying to sell them on second, third, or fourth exposure to your product or your opportunity. This lesson and the PDFs I've created for you below to download will help you do this effectively, okay, and without any push. You're going to pull them in as opposed to push them away. So now you can get your prospects to buy in a way where you're not pushy, you're not over salesy, and make more money from your list. And in this training, you'll learn how to do this through follow-up. And I want to teach you a few things and give you an overview and some options about how to follow up and the overarching things that you need to do and don't do while you follow up with your list. So when your follow-up is done properly, there's essentially three goals you need to concentrate on. The first goal, of course, is about relationship building. You have to establish authority with your list as a trusted advisor or a trainer. And if they see you as an expert, they will look forward to opening your emails and listen to you. If you come off as a pushy and desperate and only are looking to make money off your list, well, then they're going to see right through that and they're going to stop opening your emails. So you have to be valuable in the eyes of your prospects. So I call this strategy the Goodwill Bank Account, and I'll get into that just a little later. Now, the second goal is about closing those who did not buy on first exposure. Now, think about yourself when you were buying. 95% of the time, we kind of have to think about investing in something on first exposure unless it's just so good you can't contain yourself and you spontaneously buy what you're wanting. Now, it happens. We know this. This is the same with your prospects. So with all the hype and the noise on the internet, having a prospect buy your product the first time around isn't really what you need to focus on. Okay, now when you build value and authority with that prospect and you've gained some trust and built a relationship with them, following up is a lot easier, and closing them with more value driven follow-up will help your conversion rates. Now, my conversion rate of having a person buy on first exposure is about 1 every 25 leads. Now, when I first got started, it was about 1 out of every 80, but learning effective copywriting and video marketing strategies, I've been able to bring that ratio a lot lower. Now, that's not bad. However, what it does tell me is that I need to keep focusing on my follow-up, and I need to keep on building trust and authority with my list more and more through valuable information sharing. Now, the third goal is to ascend your current customer base to either buy more stuff from you or to also upgrade them from one package to another at a higher level. Now, if your customer bought a basic package, then your follow-up should be more valuable information and the benefits of upgrading to an annual or maybe a VIP level, or maybe go from a diamond to a platinum, etc. in your network marketing opportunity, whatever higher level that may be for your product line. Now, remember, this business is about building relationships and helping people get results. The more you help them achieve what they want, then you'll eventually get what you want. It's just the principle of reciprocity, okay? It never fails. Now, in the terms of various different types of follow-up, there are three main types of follow-up methods. The first one is automated email follow-up, and this is the most important thing you can do for yourself with building a relationship with your list, especially if you are new. What's great about this type of follow-up is you can set a time for each of your emails to go out, and everything is completely automated, so you don't even have to be there. And all you have to do is look at your open rate, click-through rate, and see who's reading them and who aren't reading them. Now, when a great idea comes into your head that you want to share, you can do a simple broadcast and send it out within a minute of writing it or so. Or you can send it out a month from now, or you can send it out a week or a couple hours from now. We live in an age of email, Snapchats, Facebook posts, and reminders. So email works when you do it properly. Now, the second way is personal contact, where you can call them or when you can actually get them to reach out to you. And the latter is the goal of my follow-up. I want people to reach out to me, and I do this by establishing authority, giving great content, valuable information. Now, when they reach out to you, then that means that they're they fully see how valuable you are, and they trust you enough to reach out, and you're doing what you should be doing in your business. Now, depending on your business model, you may want to have a time that you do reach out or call your prospect. I mean, I typically prefer to use a leveraged and automated approach to follow-up system, where I get an email, or they may reach out to me through social media or send me a message on Google Plus or Facebook. So most of my videos or my trainings usually pre-qualify my prospects before I pick up the phone to even call them. So my pipeline is already qualifying them, and I like to get my leads to contact me. So the third is through a webinar or a Google Hangout, okay? Now, basically what you can do with these is you can have large audiences all at once to do some trainings or to go over numbers with my network marketing team, and see who's having success and recognize them for that success, and to also help those who are stuck, or just show them a few tricks or tweaks to their campaigns to help them out. So sometimes it's just a question and answer hangout where we'll brainstorm and ask questions, and we also learn from one another. Now, I learn a lot more from my team than I do on my own half the time. So the beauty of webinars and hangouts is they can be recorded, and then you can just leverage them, each recording over and over again as an evergreen asset, where you can just reuse them over and over again. And as you get more leads coming into your pipeline, so you don't have to continue making new videos for your new prospects. Automation makes your business work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So it's very leveraged and it's easy to do. Once you create it and you put all the content and all the work into it, just remember, if you're having a problem and it's taking you a lot of time to get something done with this business, you can leverage it over and over and over again. So do the best you can whenever you do a webinar or you do a hangout or you do a sales funnel. It's going to pay off in the end if you just keep doing it. Now, most of this training is going to get your email follow-up machine started. Now, if you look, you'll see the headline of this training slide, the word proper. Okay, when you do not do follow-up properly, you're going to bang your head against the wall, okay? And over again, wondering why no one is responding to you or opening your emails or clicking on your links. And most people don't do follow-up properly, and they just basically pound their prospects over the head until they buy by pitching here and pitching again and pitching again and again and again. And since we've already figured out that this pitching over and over again thing doesn't work, your prospects is going to jump off your list as fast as a burning ship. So one thing that the biggest concept that I want you to take away from this, no matter what you may decide to follow up with your prospect, is having a goodwill towards them, okay? The way I was trained to combat being pitchy and pounding them over the head with my buy now hammer was to provide a goodwill bank account. And I didn't use this method for the first time around because I just kind of decided I could do it myself, and I completely failed. And wow, it was bad. So I wasn't getting opens. I was getting like a 20% open rate. And what's crazy is the first few emails I was sending out content. I was sending out just little trainings here and there. And I mean, I was getting like 60% open rates. And then all of a sudden I wasn't making any sales. I got frustrated. So I just started pitching and pitching and pitching. And I was going down from 60% close rates to 30 to 20 to 10. And I just kind of figured out, well, something's definitely wrong with this. Now bear with me. You're going to start to see how genius this Goodwill bank account really is, okay? And what the Goodwill bank account is based upon is a principle of relationship building and establishing authority. So what is this Goodwill bank account? Well, the Goodwill bank account is this. So for every single time you provide valuable information or you solve a problem for your prospect or help them in any way to get them from where they are now to where they want to be, you make a deposit into that Goodwill bank account, okay? Every time you ask money from them or try to sell them something, you make a withdrawal from that bank account. So if any of you have ever been in a long-term relationship, you may understand this. I mean, if you're married, then you really understand this concept toward your wife or your husband, because this all goes back to what we've discussed earlier, that being successful in this business is like dating. It's like having a relationship. Most successful relationships are based on how much you give to that other person and really not how much that you can take, okay? A good story to illustrate this point is when I was young, my stepdad loved to go fishing with the guys once a month, okay? And a week or so before his trip, he would always do more normal things around the house. He'd do more than normal things around the house, and he'd also give more of his time to helping my mother. Now, he was giving more of himself so that when he took that trip, he didn't feel so guilty about it, right? So, but what was he doing? And he was making deposits into that Goodwill bank account. So there are some people who are watching this right now and they're completely the opposite. They just want to make some money and they don't want to give very much to their prospects. I mean, it may work to an extent, but your business will never survive long term, okay? And if you want a thriving business and to build your business for long-term success, you have to make those goodwill deposits. You have to take the time to learn value, deliver value, and share it, okay, to your prospects, way more than you ever take. And if you just keep asking for sales, well, then you're going to bounce all of your checks, basically. So I really want you to ask yourself when you're building your follow-up sequence and when you're getting ready to make an offer or create a sales pitch to your list, I want you to ask yourself, have I made enough goodwill deposits or enough credit with that person? And have I built enough of a relationship and I have established enough authority and trust towards that prospect, or am I just going to bounce this check? Okay, you really need to keep this in mind, and when you do, you will be successful. And you may ask, I know, but how do I do this over the phone? Well, I won't be doing a lot of over-the-phone follow-up because we are working with email right now. However, here is the only tip that you need and question that you need to ask your prospect over the phone. How can I help you? That's it. That is all you have to ask. It's really that easy. You call up and you say, hey, John, I saw that you looked at my website and you opted into my email list to get some more information. So I'm just calling to make sure you got your download and to ask, what's going on in your life and what made you decide to request this information and what's your goals and how can I help you achieve those goals? And then you just shut up. You let them talk. They will open up to you and tell you everything you need to know. They'll be like, wow, this guy's different. He isn't trying to pitch me anything. He actually may want to help me, So what you're going to do is you're going to set yourself apart from everyone else. And once you listen to what they want, then you can kind of structure your offer or your opportunity to what they've already told you and told you that they needed, instead of assuming what they need. I mean, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, okay? So listen to what they want and then structure your offer based on what they tell you. It isn't that hard. I mean, listen twice as much as you speak and you're going to watch your results just skyrocket. Now remember, the Goodwill bank account, and you need to practice it every video, every email, every training, every hangout, on every interaction that you ever have with any of your prospects. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you some follow-up tips and the overview and the ultimate strategy that you use whenever you want to structure your emails, okay, when you're following up with your leads. Now, the golden rule is that everything must be wrapped in value. There are times when you can send out a blatant pitch, and in the downloads below, I'm going to show you how to do that in an effective way, and some templates of of my word for word emails that I personally use to send out to my prospects. Now, don't copy them word for word, but use them as like a fill in the blank template for your emails. You need to make them yours, and you need to provide your own twist and your own summary, because you know your list better than I do. So the number one golden rule is to make sure you are wrapping everything in value. Now, second, make sure you follow up as more about your prospects' wants, needs, and desires than about you or your offer or your opportunity. If you look over your email and you see the words I, me, and then you've really missed the boat, okay? It should be about them. That is what they want in their life. This is how they can achieve their goals, or this is what they need to get a lead rocking machine going, or not me, and keep the words I and me out of it completely. If you only pitch to them what you are interested in, then they will just stop listening to you because they really don't care, okay? Maybe you've heard this before. I think I've said it in another training, or I'm going to say it in another training. But your prospects are only tuned into one radio station, WIIFM. What's in it for me? Okay? So remember, with any email that you ask your prospect to open or any link to click on to view your video or your blog post, you have to remember your prospects are thinking, why should I? What is in it for me? If you're saying, hey, click on the link below so you can learn how to be whatever, blah, 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 or click on this link to register for my webinar, or click this link below to read my short ebook, or you just want them to read your email, remember that your prospects are asking themselves that question. And if you don't provide the answer, then the only buttons that you're going to click on, or that they are going to click on, is trash, spam, delete, and unsubscribe, right? So before you ask them to do anything, you have to answer the question, what is in it for them, instead of your product, service, or your opportunity. And when you can answer that question, you can have assurance that you're putting a deposit into that Goodwill bank account by helping them solve a problem or fulfill a desire that they have. And if you do that, you'll be on your way to a responsive list. And if not, well, you won't have a list for very long, right? So just remember the Goodwill bank account for everything you do when having an interaction with your prospect, and you really can't fail. Now, you may ask, well, how in the heck do I do all this? How do you determine what questions they may be asking, or what problems they are having, or what desire that they may have? Well, look below and you'll find a PDF for download called Recon Worksheet. Okay, I use this worksheet for every market that I go after. You write down what questions they have, what objections they have, what desires and problems that they may be facing, and I use this worksheet to answer those questions in my marketing and my follow-up. So when you can put on paper what problems or desires and objections your prospects may be having at the time, and you know that your product or your opportunity or even you yourself can solve that problem or fulfill that desire, then you can answer their questions and you can effectively answer the "what is in it for me" question. However, you can't just pitch them a product or an offer. It just doesn't work. You got to be very subtle, and remember, people love to buy, but they hate to be sold. Okay, they don't want to feel pushed into making a decision. You want to answer questions and fulfill desires and make their decision to buy their idea and not your own. Okay, now a few tips to do this I found very interesting is once you go through and you send an email out about a training or something that you've learned, or you just want to share something and give them value, put a link or a short message in like a PS or a signature line of every email. Will be a subtle way of getting your prospects to look at what you have to offer. It's very passive and it doesn't come off as pushy or salesy. So if you want them to view a video or read an article, view a blog post or whatever, remember it has to be filled with value. And then at the bottom of the email, you can post your passive pitch or as a way of saying, hey, by the way, if you want to learn more about how I became great at copywriting, just click here. Or by the way, if you want to learn more about what vehicle I use to be financially independent, click here. This is just a passive way of having your prospects look at what you have to offer by sending them to a presentation page or a video sales letter or maybe even just a blog post. Okay. Another tip I can give you is to put your phone number, any social media contact pages that you have, maybe Facebook or Google Plus or Skype or any other contact information at the bottom of your email. And you have to remember we live in an age of social media, and you can't just sit behind a computer all day anymore and not have anybody know who you are. I mean, you have to be very transparent in your dealings with your list, especially in the age of this social media, because people can look you up and learn what you are all about now, and you can't just sit behind a computer and expect to be successful in this business or expect people to want to do business with you. We live in the age of transparency. Make it easy for them. Give them your contact information or show them that you have nothing to hide. I have people contact me regularly because I've given them an option to, and I don't have to hide. They don't have to search for me all over the internet. I just prove to people I can help them, and I include my phone number, my Google Plus page, and my Facebook page. I don't ask to be called. I think it's a great way to get interaction with your list and build trust and relationships, but you don't have to. Okay. If you don't want people calling you, just set up a Google Voice account. All right, it's really easy. You just go to Google, Google Voice, and you can get your own phone number and a voicemail account to use in your business for your business phone. So don't freak out about giving out your contact information. You have plenty of options, and I highly suggest that you use it. So really, you just go to google.com, you type in Google Voice. If you have a Gmail account, then you can just log in with your Gmail account, and you get to pick a phone number. And when they call you, it redirects basically to this voicemail system, and you'll get an email, say you have a new voicemail, and you can just check it from your cell phone. It's a very easy option. It keeps you private. It keeps your privacy high, and I use it all the time, and I love it. It's a fantastic little tool. It's free. Go ahead and check it out. Now, here's another tip, and this is a big one. You always want to use like case studies and stories of other people's successes, including those of your own team, either with your product or with your opportunity. Now, this is a trigger called social proof, which will basically pre-sell them on the notion that if other people are having success, they can too. Now remember, what's in it for me, and why should I open this? Why should I watch this video? Well, other people are having success, and you can too. So this allows you to do several things, right? You're giving real value because it's a case study or a how-to study, right? So you're basically saying how Joe Schmo went from A to B to C. So to put this in perspective, you can send out to your prospects a true story, how someone got results by using your product or your opportunity. And you're causing basically two triggers to go off in your prospect's mind. Number one, if you've helped this person achieve success, then you are automatically establishing yourself as a leader and an authority by being able to help them, and also showing your prospects that you can help them also. So number two, You're providing social proof by showing that other people are having success with your product or opportunity. And number three, you're also showing and providing a training because you are showing exactly how that success was achieved and showing them step-by-step strategies used to get their results with the product or opportunity that you are promoting. Sorry about that. I had a cough coming on and I just had to hang out there for a second. Okay, you're not pounding them over the head with this, okay? You're not pitching and how you can be rich and famous, or that you'll lose 1 billion pounds in a month. You're actually just giving them real value by showing them how others have used your product or opportunity to get the end desired result. So that is a really good way and powerful message that you can send to your audience. Now, the last tip I can give you is, overall, you need to raise curiosity and lower their resistance, right? So most people go out and they'll send an email with their company name or their logo, and they give them links to their company. Well, if you do this, what do you think your list will do? Well, I mean, they're going to go out and do some research on your company on Google, or they will say, well, I've heard of that before and it's not for me, or, well, my brother-in-law's mother, aunt's cousin Susie tried this and it just didn't work out for her, so I don't want to bother with this. So basically what you've done is you've just destroyed their curiosity and you've created resistance that didn't need to be there in the first place, and they will completely shut you off, okay? Don't flat out tell them what your opportunity is. The other option is they may say, I don't know if I've heard of that, and I'll do a Google search. Then they'll go to Google and they'll see all the negative ads about it. It didn't work for me and my brother's dog's friend's Dave, so I don't bother with it. If you have a brain, it's a scam, blah, 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 blah. Do not tell them what you are promoting. Share with them how people have gotten results. Show that you are a leader and an authority, and how you can help them achieve the desires that they have in life and help them solve any problem that they have becoming successful, and how your product or opportunity can help them achieve their desired results. Only then should you provide the name of your product or your opportunity after you've sold them on how to, why they need it, how it can help them, and you've sold them on the proper desire. Now, when you just tell people to go buy this or join that, or just click this link or click that, you're building resistance right off the bat and decreasing curiosity. They will put their hands up and they're going to say, well, nope, just stay away. You're just trying to sell me something. Now think about your follow-up as always providing goodwill, but at the same time, you're keeping their curiosity high and you're creating mystery about what you're offering, building true value with them and establishing yourself as an advisor and authority in their eyes to lower all their resistance. Again, you don't go up to an attractive guy or gal and spill your beans and say, hey, I love you, even without building any sort of relationship with them, right? I mean, I hope not. Don't do the same thing to your prospects. Now, the final thing I want to stress is people will only buy when it is right for them, not when it's right for you. People have all kinds of things going on in their life. Amateurs believe that no means no forever. Well, they think no today means that nobody will ever buy from them. They're just going to cross them off their list, and they will pound them over the head until the prospect says, this guy or gal is an annoying turd, and they are getting on my last nerve, and I'm not going to listen to them anymore. The professional knows that a no today doesn't mean no forever, but maybe tomorrow, okay? They understand that if you follow up with them properly, and you provide goodwill and true value towards them consistently over time, then maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next month, or maybe even next year, they will buy from you. You need to always use the Goodwill bank account no matter how long it takes. Now, if you truly want a long-term thriving business, then you have to treat each of your prospects with respect, and you have to provide goodwill whether they buy or whether they do not. Now, your number one goal in follow-up is to maintain and enhance the relationship between you and your list when you provide your lead magnet, so that when they do buy or join your opportunity, they will buy from you when they are in the market, because some people just aren't ready at the time. However, they will come to you because you've already established a proper relationship with them by treating them with respect, establishing yourself as a professional figure. It's really that simple, okay? I hope this video has been helpful for you, so that you can, be successful in your follow-up. And that you've learned what to do and what not to do. The next step really is to download the PDF files below and study them, and even take some action and use these and send these out. Send out something of value to your list. I mean, there's nothing your list is wanting more than just to have you send out, hey, what's up? I learned this today, or hey, what's up? I'm going to show you something that I learned today. People love that stuff, okay? take some time, download those PDFs and study them for yourself, and you can come up with ideas on how to follow up with your list. Now, the benefit loss PDFs are how to send proper emails to those who haven't purchased on first exposure. You should also print out the recon example and recon blank worksheet to go over their desires, needs, objections with your prospects are going to have, so that you'll have the ammo when you're writing your effective follow-up, your ad copy, your video marketing, etc. I mean, these will really help you get to where you want to go with your follow-up, and I can't wait to hear some successful stories. And if you're finished with this lesson, just click on next lesson button below.